as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I'm a soul sculptor, and today we're going to be talking about the Akashic Records and how I use them in my energy work.
Restoring everything within. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes.
Okay, so I'm going to be with you in just one second. So if you have any questions, you can ask them in just a second. Beautiful. This is funny. All right. So as a soul sculptor, what I do is I help my clients break out of the mold of the past, whatever that past is, whether it's being bullied as a child, having parents that were critical, feeling abandonment, whatever that trauma is that has been basically manifesting in all of the relationships and the challenges in your life. What I help you do is break out of that and go beyond it. Okay, one more here. Okay. So first of all, what I'd like to talk about is how do I use the Akashic Records in my energy work? So when somebody comes to me and they want to do coaching with me, you know, it used to be that I did energy healing and then I did coaching, and I did it separately, and then I did hypnotherapy. And you know, what happens is we recognize that we're using these tools. Why not merge them? Why not bring the best of the best together? So that's what sets me apart from other coaches. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm an NLP practitioner. I'm also a hypnotherapy trainer, an NLP trainer. I use all of these tools in my coaching practice. So not only are you getting someone who has worked through trauma, codependency, anxiety, and depression, but I also have all these other tools that I use, and I help to propel you forward faster because I'm clearing those blocks and beliefs, etc. So I'll just give you an example. So today I worked with a lady who lives on the Isle of Man in the UK, lovely lady. And, you know, she had mentioned to me she wanted me to work with her mother. So I, you know, checked in, asked if I can work with her mother's energy, and her mother, I could feel her. She was like, yes, it's about time. You know, she's cleared everyone in the family. What about me? So she was delighted. Her energy was ready to and excited about receiving a clearing. So, you know, I had checked in with my client, and I always do this. I open the Akashic Records first. And how do I do that? There's a sacred prayer. And when I open their Akashic Records, what I do is I'm kind of doing this like an opening. Like it's like opening a file drawer. And you know how maybe you might smell paper, or you know, maybe if an essential oil was spilled, you might get a little whiff of lavender or something. So I'm just getting kind of a little soul whiff of who they are, maybe scanning, feeling something that's going on with them. It could be, I pick up on a root canal that shouldn't have been, or something in their body or emotionally with them, or maybe I just get a vision. I could see a rabbit or something, and that has some pertinent detail about them in it. So I'll say, well, I just saw a rabbit. What does that mean to you? But in this case, when I opened up her mother's field, and this is interesting because I always scan, how clear are they? And I can tell, are you 10% clear? Are you 20% clear? Are you 80% clear? And of course, the more clear that somebody is, the better they feel. So when you start feeling crappy, when you start feeling negative, when you may be feeling very depressed or emotional, you've picked up a lot of stuff. And you think about it, you wash your clothes, you clean your house, you clean your car, you vacuum it out, hopefully, and you throw away the trash. Well, our soul, our energy field picks up stuff. We see something, an animal's hit on the road in front of us. Oh, we pick up that energy. We see a couple, maybe arguing in Walmart or wherever it is you shop, and you pick up that energy. And you're at the checkout, and maybe there's a little something going on with the mother and child. The child's crying, and the mother turns around and yells at the child, and you take that on. Or maybe you comment to someone and they are maybe rude back to you. You take that energy on. All of these things go into our energy field, and they're like static. It's like filth from the environment that weighs us down. And then, of course, there's prescription medication, smoking pot, taking any kind of street drugs opens up the field. Now, there are other ways that open up the field as well. You might fall and be afraid, or you might be terribly sick. And all of these things create holes, rips, and tears in our auric field. And the auric field is what, it protects us. It is like our little personal cocoon around us. Everyone has an auric field. And, there was a time where I dated a gentleman. He built fences in Atlanta, and a really great fence builder, but he was constantly getting hurt. And, when I checked into his field, he had no field. He was always getting hurt because he'd had all these illnesses, and he'd gotten injured over and over and over again, and he'd never cleared his field. So he basically had no protection around him. Okay, so now I want to go back to the mother of my client. So when I tapped into her energy field, and I was telling you about, some people are 70% clear, some people are 40% clear, and the higher you are as far as being clear or clarity, the better you feel. Well, and I tapped into her mother's field, and I said right away, Mirka, I know your mother prays a lot, doesn't she? She said, oh my God, how did you know? Well, here's the thing, the power of prayer, whether you believe in God or not, I will tell you, there's a vast difference between someone's field who doesn't pray and someone who does. Now, my client's mom is Italian. I mean, she is from Italy. She speaks Italian. She's praying the rosary many times a day. And so it doesn't matter how you pray, but praying will raise your vibration. Praying will help to clear your energy field. So there are things that you can do for yourself rather than, having to go, to an acupuncturist or coming to see me. You can pray. And the more prayer that you have, gratitude is a prayer, right? So the more praying we do, the higher our vibration. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do to raise our vibration. We can eat healthy foods. We can eat, lots of fruit and vegetables, high vibrational foods. All those things raise our vibration. Or you could do it the other way around. You could eat lots of sweets, chocolate cake, pies, candy, pizza. And, maybe you don't eat so healthy. Maybe you're eating fast foods with white bread with that foaming agent in it. Well, that is going to take your energy down. So do you see the difference? So you want to raise your energy up. How do you do that? By eating lots of things that have natural light in them, like fresh green leafy vegetables, fruits, and that sort of thing. Of course, the more fresh they are, the higher their vibration. And I just witnessed this here. I was walking down the road yesterday here in Ojai, and there's a little mandarin orange grove there. And I had one little mandarin orange right off the tree. Have you ever done that? Eaten something right out of the garden? I grew up with a dad who used to garden, and he did this with my kids. He'd say, here, he'd pick a pea out of the garden and pass it to my kids. And I remember my son Adam going, aren't we going to wash it first? My father just laughed and said, just eat it, eat the darn thing. And I'm not a germaphobe. And because I'm not a germaphobe, I'm not really concerned about germs, and I don't get sick. And of course, I'm always grateful for my vibrant health. And so the more gratitude we have for something, the more it continues, right? So what can you do to raise your vibration? You can come to me and get coaching and an energy clearing. I open the Akashic Records, which automatically gives you a healing. Just having the Akashic Records open, the types of things that I've witnessed when I've opened people's fields, opened people's Akashic Records, I have seen visions. I have seen them on horseback. I have seen them fighting battles. I have seen all kinds of past lives, known that they were burned at the stake or beheaded. There's lots of different things, but there's also great things that I've seen and felt too, that there's just this uplifting of energy when their Akashic Records are open. And I do it like a little scan, and I can tell what's going on in their field, if they've got candida or inflammation, and all those types of things come through when I'm in their energy field. And so with the Akashic Records open, then I do an energy clearing and I access the Akashic Records. So I'm taking out whatever it is that's, that's burdensome, maybe a past life where, they, died on the streets of starvation. If you are like me, I've had many lifetimes where I've starved to death, and I don't do it so much anymore because I feel like I've alleviated that pattern and that programming by all the clearings. But I used to take food everywhere I went. I would not leave the house without some sort of picnic basket or a cooler with me so that I would never go hungry. I was so afraid of being away from my house and being hungry. And I think, for a lot of us, we have had lifetimes where we've died of starvation. And so having those past programs and patterns cleared from the past lives that are bleeding through, perhaps you've had your heart broken, or someone has stolen your beloved in past lives. And so then, every time you have a relationship, someone takes your beloved away from you. So there's this past life that's lingering in your field that is causing you to repeat these patterns. And, there's a lot we can do. We can clear, pull the heart tie, release with love, forgive. We can release and forgive, but if the past lives are not cleared, then we're still dragging around past life stuff. And I have seen people with sinus infections that when I clear from the Akashic Records and I clear excuse me, past lives where, you know, maybe they've died in a fire or they've drowned. I know one person in particular, right, Bettina Bailey? So when we get those things cleared, then, you know, you're not suffering from those, you know, those past illnesses. So let me just see what else we got here. Well, you know, there are lots of ways to clear our energy field. And let me just say about this, let me have a little sip of tea here. Kundalini yoga will clear your energy field. Qigong will clear your energy field. Prayer will clear your energy field. There are lots of different ways to get to the same place, many different ways. And, you know, I've explored a lot of them. And some of them have been acupuncture and chiropractic and, you know, conglomeration of all those things, and energy healing and hypnotherapy. All of those things will raise your vibration and help you be who you truly are. So, you know, you get rid of all that debris from even just yesterday or the day before or a month ago, a year ago, or your childhood, or even before that. So within the Akashic Records, I have smelled clients' perfume, and they're on the other side of the world. I have sensed, you know, that they need to rid their body of candida. I have sensed inflammation. And I get guidance on all of these things. So I hope that this answers your questions about how do I use the Akashic Records. And the thing about the Akashic Records is that this is your soul's record from the beginning of time, from the inception of you, from the very first time that you incarnated. And we are all multi-dimensional beings. We have lived multi-lives in many different locales, not just on this planet. And people's minds, but it's true. We haven't just lived on this planet. We've lived elsewhere. I hope this has helped to answer your questions. And if you have any further ones, you can post them down here, share this video with a friend, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, sign up for my free newsletter, and you'll receive a free ebook, How to Manifest. I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I sure have enjoyed being with you. Much love. Bye-bye.